telling you not to do something doesn't work? From your perspective as a teenager, what would work to try and get teenagers to not engage in the activities that
Nothing.
your grown-ups in your life tell you
Nothing.
not to?
Reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology.
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't think anything, because obviously if it's illegal now, or you're not supposed to do it, and people find a way to sneak off and still do it, then doing other precautionaries are not gonna stop kids from doing what they want anyways.
Okay. Just listen.
I don't know, just do it and then more.
So basically let you do it, and if you learn a bad lesson, then hopefully it teaches you and you don't do it again.
Yep.
I guess.
Alright, yeah.
How my mom approaches it is she just talks about it with me, which actually makes it awkward. And when I just learn from my mistakes, you just pretty much you learn, you pick it up on your
But
own.
what about the people who don't learn?
What'd you say?
They're just
What about the
repeat
people who
offenders.
don't learn from their mistakes?
Then they get pregnant.
They're
And
Yeah.
die.
Hold it, thank you.
I think I'm with Jordan. I don't think anything is going to, because if we're telling us not to do it, then we're obviously missing out something. That's what I just thought.
But you know, I hear this discussion all the time from teenagers, and a lot of times they say, well, if they would just let us drink, then it wouldn't, and I probably wouldn't do it because it's no fun to do something that they let you do. And, you know, I really, right, and I totally disagree with that argument. Because, I mean, I can't picture, you know, a lot of teenagers out there who do, drink with, out there going, yeah, man, if they would ever just let me do this, I'd probably stop. You know, I'm gonna stop doing it. That's no, I mean, most people, especially teenagers, when it comes to alcohol, they drink to get drunk. They drink because they like the way they feel when they're drunk. And whether or not they're told not to do it or whatever isn't gonna change that fact. So, I don't know. So you're telling me it's hopeless? You're telling me that, you know, as a parent, there's
If
nothing I can
somebody-
do to influence the decisions that my children are gonna make concerning drugs and alcohol?
Yeah, because they're little, show them like pictures like dead drunk people.
Yeah,
See, but scaring doesn't work either.
Scare me.
I don't know.
obviously, not everybody.
Because scaring doesn't work because all teenagers think they're invincible. Yeah, that's somebody else. That's not gonna happen to me. Yeah.
I'm terrified.
Okay.
of that kind of stuff.
I think the only thing that would stop it is if you weren't allowed to go somewhere without your parent. Or like if something, they have to constantly follow you around. Like, did you have those kids?
Getting a little bit too loud,
You have those
listen.
parents that live vicariously through their kids and like they don't really care what they do and it's not like,
And we
I
all
mean, I'm
know.
not trying to be stereotypical, but I mean, like, there's kids that really just don't care. So, I mean, either way, they're gonna do it. I don't think that there's anything that, unless you have a parent on your shoulder constantly
Well,
telling
we
you,
all know
don't do
that's not,
this.
well, we all know that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Exactly,
Like,
so there's nothing you can do.
If you got told not to go somewhere, I go somewhere. Your parents couldn't, they might not tell you not to go somewhere, and it wouldn't influence you to go. Like if you asked to go
Right.
somewhere.
I mean, it's one of those things because I wonder, because I obviously have two teenage children, and I don't know that I've ever spent any time preaching to them, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. And to the best of my knowledge, they never have done any of those things.
They got video games that we
You
can.
know, I mean, that's one of the things that Nicholas and I talked to him about, like, he is, compared to me at his age, he is the complete opposite. Complete. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail about my life at the age of 16, but I was never home, ever home.
I tried to.
And I was
I try to be honest with you.
always out somewhere. And yeah, I was involved in activities and things that as a teenager you weren't supposed to do. And, you know, and I cussed all the time with my friends and stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
me.
my kid, as far as I know, he's never drank, never smoked, he's any tobacco, and doesn't cuss. I mean, and I was like, he's like the complete opposite of me. And it's very hard for me
His
to,
technology is
you
good.
know, so, I don't know. And I, like I said, so I've never preached, don't. He just made the decision on his own to not do those things. He always tells me, he said, yeah, Dad, I'm gonna start gonna do the DD so I can laugh at all the stupid drunk friends of mine that I drive around. I'm like, okay, I guess that's what you wanna do, son, but.
My thing is that those of us who play sports aren't as stupid as people. I'm not trying to be
I don't think
very
so.
Alright, so I don't deny who I am and what I've done. I'll never hide from my past. I may not share all my past with you, but I'll never deny it. I started smoking when I was 15. I smoked until I was 32. I played basketball. I was involved in sports. I smoked all through high school and all through college.
Wait, smoking
Cigarettes.
That's
What do you think?
No, I've never.
Bath salts. What were you thinking?
Never
Oh yeah, it was
smoked
legal.
I was curious.
Never have, never will.
Never will.
Never have, never will.
I've never smoked
He
marijuana.
smoked cocaine for a living.
Never.
No one's ever died from it.
So,
Never smoked marijuana.
no, I
Some
wouldn't.
Paul's like,
I've been
wow.
around
That
it.
was the joke.
I had plenty of, I had friends in high school who smoked marijuana, friends in college who smoked marijuana, I've been around marijuana, I've seen it all. I've been at parties where there's heroin, acid, marijuana, I've seen it all.
Mr. Ross, no.
But I've never, you know, beyond tobacco and alcohol, but see, I'll tell you this, and I'll be honest.
I wanna hear what Mr. Ross says.
Do you know why I never tried marijuana? Honestly.
It's
It's because I was afraid I would like it and not be able to stop. So I just figured I'd never.
Smart man.
I know, but I'm just saying, I was afraid I would like
I mean, don't over.
what it did, so I just decided I never wanted to try it.
See, you're a smart man.
And that's just the way I roll. Thank you. What?
I believe him.
And
Long, you want to sample in about 3 minutes?
parents try to scare the kids. It's like,
Oh,
it's
yeah. I hate to think about what people, anybody who watches these videos that we're making.
Jessica is gonna be like-
Jessica's
I feel
gonna
like
think
she's
about,
high on her
what
pills
the
right now.
heck is going on in that guy's
Yeah,
life?
like, I don't think, like, obviously the scaring doesn't work either, because it's like, it's the gateway to all drugs, you're gonna get addicted, and that's because you smoke weed.
Right.
So, this time, it's,
You know, my parents, I they told me when I was younger that sex before marriage.
Alright, let's say we're done.
Oh, I was gonna bring live.
Oh,
My uncle, he started off with weed and then he went on to a lot harder drugs. And I just seen how it affects people.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, I've been around it, I've seen people do all kinds of crazy things with all kinds of crazy substances, and, you know, to me, alcohol was the limit with me, that's as far as I've ever gone.
I think it's funny.
Huh?
Said no bath salts.
he's like, why would you ask that question?
What?
What do you ask?
Bath salts. I didn't understand what you were saying at first. No.
He's like, what?
You obviously.
Despite what they thought was going to happen with prohibition, the opposite. People don't agree with it, and they chose not to obey it. I mean, and I think that's something we can all relate to. Basically, the mindset of the people in America is, if it's a law we like, we follow it. If it's a law we think is stupid, we don't. It's that simple. And what you might think is a good law and you follow, I might think is a dumb law and I don't follow. I mean, how many of you, when it comes to it's the law, wear your seatbelt? Some people think, I'm wearing my seatbelt. I never wear my seatbelt. I think it's a dumb law. I don't want to wear it. I'm not going to wear it.
I wear it when I'm
You know,
driving.
and I'm not saying you shouldn't. You got to make your own choices. But, you know, so that's how it is. The same thing with prohibition.
When you
Some people thought prohibition was a stupid law. This law's dumb, I'm not gonna follow it. It takes a bunch of people who aren't criminals and turns them into criminals. I mean, think about it, there's different levels of alcohol consumption, and if you were somebody back in the 1920s, and, you know, in a more high-class situation, a lot of people like to have a glass of wine when they have dinner.
I do.
People having fish and stuff, they have white wine. Having red meat or pasta, you have red wine. And people like wine with their meals. So that that husband and wife, who sat down to have dinner and had a glass of red wine with their steak, in 1917 is perfectly legal. In 1925, they're criminals. So this law, instead of decreasing crime, actually made people who were responsible with their alcohol consumption and turned them into criminals. Bootleggers, like we said, we love our alcohol. And so we were going to get it regardless of what the law said. And that became a whole underground organization, bootlegging, to make illegal alcohol to sell. And then the bootlegging leads to the organized crime, the gangster era of guys like Al Capone and others. So despite what it is they intended prohibition to do, in most cases it was the opposite effect. By 1933, the government realized that prohibition just wasn't working, and they passed the 21st Amendment, which undid the 18th Amendment, and prohibition was lifted, and in 1934, alcohol was became legal.
Bless you.
And I don't know if how much that had to do with the Depression, that because of the economic depression, they figured, well, we might as well give these people back alcohol because they lost all their money, so.
So they can waste a little money.
Yeah.
So, what did they just completely remove the 18th Amendment and
Yeah.
move all the other amendments down?
No.
One, or is it
No,
still there?
you look
It's
at the
not
list of
there?
amendments, 18th Amendment, prohibition, blah, blah, blah. 20th, or 19th Amendment, women's right to vote. 20th Amendment, lame duck for presidency. 21st Amendment,
Like I didn't,
repeals
like,
the 18th Amendment.
like if it was
No,
like
it's still there.
all of them and they took it out.
It had to do with when the president was inaugurated and put into office and stuff like that. I think that's the 20th. No, like, you know how now, like, the president gets inaugurated on January 20th? It used to not be till March 1st, I believe. So they changed the date when the president got to take office and stuff like that. Anything else? All right, we'll leave it at that. There's obviously no homework because you did most of the packet yesterday. Now turn on channel 1 and you're going to be quiet.
I got it.